Good afternoon. Yeah, I totally agree with Kirsten that too much policy, too less discussions about the value creation, and too many discussions about the bottom line saving, and the less discussion of the growth strategy. Today, I'm going to share with you about how generative agentic AI can help to transform the future, and even today, the industries and the enterprises. Since more than 2 years, hundreds of billions of investment in hyperscalers, data centers, and startups. And of course, there are many startups do not have proven business models, and the valuation of startups outpace the realistic forecast of revenues. I met hundreds of board members, CEOs, and many of them are aware of the importance of AI for their companies. However, some of them talk to me and say, I have the feeling they are waiting for the burst of the bubble, but I have to disappoint all the people who are waiting for the burst of the bubble, because AI is not a bubble. It's not a hype, because AI is part of our everyday life already. And the most successful companies are AI-first companies, not for this year, not for last year, in the past almost 5 years, even 10 years. And there are unicorns of AI companies, they are coming. Therefore, AI is the reality. If companies are not in the AI ecosystem, they will lose. And if you look at the decisive resolution of White House, Trump removing all the barriers to make sure the leadership of America in AI. Of course, I want to also prepare you. We had just a discussion about the AI Act. Since August 2nd, the legally binding AI Act regulations have started to apply, some of them. Therefore, every company, every board, you have to set up your AI governance. Make sure you belong to the companies who knows which kind of AI use cases to which kind of risk classes, in particular for AI system developers and the AI system deployer, because the strongest penalty is about 35 million US euro and 7% of your global revenue. Of course, most of you do not belong to developers of AI systems which are forbidden. And if we want to prepare our company, I guess you have started already. We have to understand the AI ecosystem and our position in the AI ecosystem. We can start with the value chain components. Many companies, even in Europe, often we say, oh, we are not so strong in the AI ecosystem. Yesterday, I just came back from a company called Xu Group. Xu Group produced semiconductor preparing for ASML, for the chips. Therefore, we have very important hidden champions. They are very important for building AI chips. Also in Europe, ASML, but we don't talk too much about it. I think it's wrong in Europe. And the cloud infrastructure, I think many companies, they are preparing the cloud infrastructure, the infrastructure for inferencing and the training. For example, companies like GCO, which I'm board advisor of it. And this infrastructure and chips, they are enabler of models and technologies which help to build AI applications. And most companies in Europe and all over the world, we are application developers or application users. And if we talk about AI application, and from AI, if we are AI expert, we have look at the things, the ingredients of AI are data. But data not in the data in a very coarse-grained way. You have to look at the data types, because AI technologies, they are associated with the AI type. Textual data have text technologies like large language models. Image data, multimodal foundational models. Video data and the coding, etc. And for different industry, there are different data. For chemical industry, we have chemical formulas. For manufacturing industry, perhaps we have also temperatures, physical information. And the defense industry is different than the manufacturing industry. There are also companies who develop AI applications which serve different companies, right? For example, machine translating can use for many, many companies and different industries. If we define the AI strategy, actually it's very simple. There are 3 roles AI can play for an existing company with existing portfolio. AI can make your product more intelligent. You know, car industry use AI for navigation, for assistant, with chat assistant with your customers. And AI can even create new products in the aviation industry, right? The drones, unmanned vehicles, they are new products. Without AI, this kind of technology cannot happen. And most companies, they apply AI for optimize their processes. Business processes like supply chain, contract management is very useful, claim management, and also for manufacture processes, you have also supply chain optimization, quality control, visual inspection. All these technologies are very useful in order to make your processes more efficient and optimized. When we have intelligent products and also optimize processes, we should talk about it. And the European companies don't talk enough about their contributions and their intelligent products and processes. We talk too much about the policies. And because I have really worked with so many companies in the last 2 years, many companies start with bottom-up with the use cases and complain about the missing scalability and the way how to make their use cases scalable. A use case which is not scalable, which does not bring business value, is useless. It's only for fun, for edutainment. Edutainment is for a company only for very short term. Therefore, it's very important to build up scalable life cycle management from design to validation, for testing, and for continuous improvement. Many companies are missing this kind of life cycle in order to make sure that we have scalable development life cycle. And in addition, also technology platforms. And if a company, in particular a manufacturing company, they have devices, hardware, if they leverage data and the digitization, the business model will change. This will have impact on your business models. And don't start too late with your think about the potential new business models. These are checklists for your companies. And I'm sure most companies do not have an AI North Star. But you need an AI North Star if you want to work with AI, because only bottom-up use cases perhaps they will not help you to make the final success in long term. I will tell you what is the North Star. And the data strategy. Most companies, because it's bottom-up, they don't have really an overview about the data they own, the data they need, and the data they have to access. And they don't know how to define the legal framework to access the customer data. It's very, very important. This kind of effort must be invested in order to be successful. And also, don't have an overview of the ecosystem of the data in their industry. AIDAQ. And I know many companies leverage hyperscaler. For example, Microsoft is doing great business with many companies. However, many companies do not know how many AIDAQs do they need and how they build synergies. I will tell you later how to do it. And because the AI experts, and also in particular senior AI experts, they are very expensive and they are limited number. I really recommend every company build a kind of hub and spoke collaboration framework. And because the central AI team, they can be responsible for the strategy, for the platform, for the lifecycle management, for the benchmarking. Benchmarking is very, very important. Make sure that your use case, your application deliver business values, fulfill the quality standards. And in particular, of course, some companies, the CEOs I met, they say, oh, I hope this is a bubble to burst. But I really recommend every company please proactively work with the regulators, because many regulators, they do not have the AI competence. They do not know how to certify AI-enabled production processes and AI-enabled products. Proactive engagement with regulators is very important for every industry. Of course, as you see, the White House has the passion, the ambition to be the #1 in the world in AI. And I'm missing European Union, the ambition, and also Germany, the ambition, to be the #1 in what? In AI, perhaps in industry AI, right? We should have these ambitions. Without ambition, we don't have North Star, we don't have goals. Only bottom up, we will not be successful. And now, let's talk about North Star. What can be a North Star for autonomous, for a car company? I just told you, okay. Yeah. A North Star for a car industry, like a BMW, no-brainer, actually autonomous driving, right? Then for autonomous driving, you can prepare your roadmap. In addition, autonomous manufacturing and optimize the business processes. And you can also define, say, in how many years we will achieve 5-level autonomous driving. And in how many years I want to make sure that 70%, 60%, 90% of my business process will be optimized and digitalized and connected, right? This kind of plan we have to make. Otherwise, the bottom-up use cases, they are useless. And for aviation industry, what can be the North Star for Airbus? And of course, AI co-pilot, right? From the machine point of view. And also, manufacturing company often they share the similar goals in manufacturing and business processes. If we look at the industry data is much more complex than the large language model and the multimodal foundational model, because large language model, multimodal foundational model we have in ChatGPT, OpenAI, they are mainly perception data. And in the industry, we have process data. We have data in trains, in graphs, and chemical formulas, and geometric data. This kind of data, they are still new for generative AI. A lot of research has to be done in order to make sure this kind of data be embedded in this generative AI research and innovation. Otherwise, we cannot deliver high standard, high quality industry AI applications. Do companies need multiple AI stacks? What's your answer? And for a global company, what do you think? How many stacks at least this company have to have for a global company? At least 2, right? 1 for China, 1 for the rest of the world, because of the geopolitical challenges. You cannot use a large language model in the rest of the world for China. It's forbidden anyway. And in China, you have to use Chinese large language model. This is one thing. And furthermore, what do you think? If you have a machine, a big machine, and if you have cloud solutions, and do you think you will have similar AI stacks? For big machines, perhaps you will put edge AI solutions on the machine and perhaps have some regular cloud connections in order to make fleet management. And for a company, if you have also defense and the government, perhaps you need another AI stack in make sure that defense and the government part will be much more compliant and have the security, which is different from other products. Therefore, work with IT team and your AI team in order to work out which kind of AI stacks you want to share, which kind of AI stack you need. This is very, very important. And now, I'm talking about AI agent. There's a very good paper, you have to read it, from NVIDIA in the recent months. They talk about not large language model, small language models. Large language model, they have general intelligence, right? We can use it for open domain reasoning. We can talk with the large language model if you have some medical questions, if you want to know more about some literature. However, for a company, which is a car company, this company is not interested in medical questions, right? They need information, more deep information in the industry. Therefore, small language models are needed in order to provide efficient specialists. And also, therefore, the hybrid architecture will win. The combination of large language model and small language models. And why is the small language models will be useful for companies? Because they are easily to update, they are cost efficient, and they are easy to control, and then we can leverage also more modular architecture. The shift is underway already. I hope you are part of this game. And now, I want to share with you, I don't want to scare you. This slide is about the future of the enterprises. The future of the enterprises, we're still talking about intelligent enterprise, but the future of the enterprises will be autonomous enterprises. We will have dual leadership. Perhaps we'll have two CEOs, one human CEO, one AI agent. And we will have, and how will the org chart look like? The agent org chart will be interviewed, and all parallel, we don't know it. It's an interesting question to answer. And also, I'm sure there will be AI supply chain, chief supply chain officer, and the chief operation officer, chief financial officer. The co-pilot will dominate in the enterprises. And then it's important to work out. I think AIDAQ is not yet so far. To work out the boundary between the human and the AI in a company, in the society, and also the escalation paths. The risk-oriented category in AIDAQ is still very simple for the future. And I think every company and everybody of us should be prepared for this future picture, find out our role. Now, this future vision, and even more interesting. And we know that AI has a big impact in healthcare area. And in the future, the AI plus the generative medicine and the synthetic biology, this means perhaps in the future, people do not have to wait for organs. They can have artificial generative liver with intelligence and artificial hips with intelligence. This is also the evolution of human society together with the artificial intelligence. I stop here. Thank you.